Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Charles Sabansky, and welcome you guys to another episode of the DREAMERSPRO show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a pretty serious show for you guys. Before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. And also, if you want to listen to the DREAMERSPRO podcast, we have that pinned in the comment section below. Let me get into this topic here. So yesterday, we produced the show on the channel that's doing fairly well, that was centered on a Bleacher Report article that was published, a shocking story from Bleacher Report that basically highlighted the fact that Scottie Pippen and some ex-Chicago Bulls were going to be going on a no-bull tour to talk Michael Jordan and The Last Dance. I want to quickly read some of the things that the article said yesterday. It says Scottie Pippen is taking The Last Dance on the road. Pippen, Luke Longley, and Horace Grant partnered with Australia's National Basketball League to announce a tour called No Bull, which will feature the former NBA players discussing Michael Jordan and the 1990 Chicago Bulls. The tour will begin on February 23rd and then head to Melbourne and Sydney. It then continues on to say a few other things. Pippen was the mainstay next to Jordan in Chicago, serving as his second in command for 6 championships during the 1990s. Grant played with the Bulls from 1987 to 1994, serving as the enforcer for Chicago's first three-peat, while Longley joined in 1994 and was the big man in the middle in the second three-peat from 1996 to 1998. So that's essentially what that report said. Now, why is that important? Well, as you guys know, Scottie Pippen, ever since The Last Dance docuseries came out in 2020, has made it his personal agenda to go out there and absolutely tarnish the reputation of Michael Jordan, not only as a basketball player, but as a person. He has taken some very personal shots at MJ, and a lot of the things that he said, if I'm going to be quite frank with you, he seemed to be unhinged in some of them. What am I talking about? What we want to do is we want to play the most recent audio, the last time we heard Scottie Pippen talking about Michael Jordan. And I want you guys to take a listen to some of the things that Scottie Pippen was saying in this audio as it pertains to Michael Jordan. So take a listen to what Scottie Pippen just recently said about the basketball player and the person, Michael Jordan. Take a listen to Scottie Pippen here.
LeBron will be the greatest statistical guy to ever play the game of basketball. And there's no comparison to him. None. So, does that make him the greatest player to ever play the game? I'll leave that out for debating, because I don't believe that there's a great player, because our game is a team game, and one player can't do it. Like, I seen Michael Jordan play before I came to play with the Bulls. You guys seen him play. He's a horrible player. He was horrible to play with. He was all one-on-one. He's shooting bad shots. And all of a sudden, we become a team and we start winning. Everybody forgot who he was.
So you heard what Scottie Pippen said, right? You heard what he said. Absolute cuckoo stuff. Scott, I want you guys to think about this for a second. Scottie Pippen was talking about the same Michael Jordan that was there during his Hall of Fame enrichment speech. When Michael Jordan got inducted to the Hall of Fame, guess who one of the people was he always gave credit to? And I think Scottie Pippen was there. Maybe he was on the stage with him. I think it was Scottie Pippen. Jordan has always given the appropriate amount of credit to Scottie Pippen. Every single time. Every single time. So for Scottie Pippen to feel like Michael Jordan, tried to make it seem like it was all about him and he didn't give him any credit is absolute total nonsense. Because there are a plethora of audios, articles of Michael Jordan heaping praise on Scottie Pippen. It's all throughout the internet. We've covered a lot of those stories. So anyone telling you that, Jordan never it's total BS. Total BS, right? But Scottie's behavior, if I'm going to be honest with you, is beginning to become disturbing. And a lot of people feel that way. So what happened? This morning, I was doing some research and I came across a fadeawayworld.net article, and it had the following headline. It says, Phil Jackson's insights about Scottie Pippen's dark side resurfaces in his feud with Michael Jordan. The article then continues on. It says, Phil Jackson's recent comments about Scottie Pippen's temperament shed light on the complexities of Pippen's personality, particularly in relation, to his famed feud with Michael Jordan. My trainer says 362 days out of the year, Scottie Pippen goes along as a model citizen And everything works out quite well for him, and he's in a great mood. But those other 2 or 3 days, he can be the downest, darkest person there possibly can be. Jackson, known as a Zen master for his ability to navigate the intricate dynamics of the Chicago Bulls, offered insight into Pippen's occasional dark side, suggesting it was a facet rarely seen but impactful when it emerged. You don't know where it came from or what happened, but there's a dark side of him that rarely surfaces, and when it does, it draws attention to itself. Now, those are Phil Jackson's comments. Now, some people will say, but Scottie Pippen recently called Phil Jackson a racist. Scottie Pippen called Phil Jackson a racist. A lot of people try to run with that when he went on the Dan Patrick, when he went on the Dan Patrick show. Here's the problem I think a lot of people are having with Scottie. Scottie Pippen has had so many different opinions on the same person that now you're losing track of what's real and what's fake. This is the problem. If you listen to some of the things that have been said about Scottie Pippen since this campaign he's been on to destroy Jordan's legacy, a lot of people are left scratching their heads. There was one piece of information that came out that was absolutely damning, which was the following. Stephen A. Smith reported on this on ESPN, and he said this was the final straw for Michael Jordan, where he said there is no coming back in terms of his relationship with Scottie Pippen. Was this. It was during Michael Jordan's passing. God forbid, Michael Jordan's father's passing. And Scottie Pippen withheld expressing his condolences to Jordan over some feelings he was harboring against him. So apparently when Jordan found this out, that the reason Scottie Pippen didn't even, because it's something he never paid attention to, that he didn't express his condolences to him losing his father, he said that was the final straw with Scottie. That was the final straw. Now, there's some people out there still trying to make Scottie Pippen's case of, oh, Scottie Pippen is this, Scottie Pippen is that, and Jordan is really the villain, and then blah, 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 when it's not true. You have Shannon Sharpe and a few others that are trying to do it, but the reason he's doing it is because he's a LeBron guy, and he's trying to hold on to that and look for cracks and chinks in his armor to hold it against Jordan. The fact of the matter is the following. You can go out there and find a litany of articles and audios of Scottie Pippen saying terrible things about MJ, but you'll seldom find any of Jordan saying anything negative about Scottie. For whatever reason, this jealousy existed. If you go back and look at the docuseries, which was The Last Dance, that docuseries covered the highs and lows of every single player there. It covered the highs and lows of MJ. It covered the highs and lows of Dennis Rodman. It covered the highs and lows of Scottie Pippen. For whatever reason, Pippen decided to take it personally. And everything that he has said about Jordan ever since The Last Dance, a lot of it has to do with things that occurred when they were teammates. And I personally believe that Jordan was blindsided by a lot of the things that Scottie Pippen has been saying about him over the years. I think he was blindsided. I don't think Jordan knew that this is exactly how Scottie Pippen had felt about him all of these years. Scottie felt like Jordan was a selfish player, he's a horrible player, he's this, he's that. So why did you want to participate in the Last Dance docuseries? Are we going to pretend that everything you've been doing since, in terms of taking attacks at Jordan, that you haven't been able to benefit from it monetarily? Are you kidding me? You're about to go on a tour, the No Bull Tour? Talking about who? Why don't you talk about somebody else? Instead, you're talking about Michael Jordan. Why? Why? Because you know, whenever you mention Jordan, is going to gain a lot of attention. People are going to want to listen. So the person that you still hate, you still found ways to continuously to make money off of him. And the irony of all of this is Jordan doesn't even respond. Michael Jordan's superpower, I believe, is his ability to ignore people. If we could all develop that skill, Michael Jordan's superpower, I personally believe, is his ability to ignore people. It's a superpower that he has. Everybody every day is talking this nonsense, that nonsense about Jordan, and he never responds. And I think that eats up a lot of these guys even more. But I think Jordan is also smart. He knows that if he responds, they're going to take it and run with it for the next 4 years. So to me, man, it's a shame. But to me, I think Scottie is coming out of this situation looking bad. to be quite honest with you, because a lot of these attacks are just absolutely ridiculous. Michael Jordan was a horrible basketball player. How would you expect anybody to take you seriously when you make a comment like that? How? There are audios of Scottie Pippen admitting that because of the deficiencies in his basketball game, he is the reason that Michael Jordan and those guys weren't even able to win. This is the same Scottie Pippen that's acting like as if when he came to the Chicago Bulls, as a matter of fact, for those of you who didn't hear Scottie Pippen talking about his deficiencies as an NBA player when he got into the NBA, want to play it for you now and then come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to Scottie Pippen talking about how he was an impediment to Michael Jordan's success when he came into the NBA. Take a listen to Scottie Pippen here. Chicago Bulls didn't ensure nearly a decade of championship success by just drafting Michael Jordan in 1984. They got key secondary piece around MJ in 1987 when they traded for Scottie Pippen's draft rights from the Seattle Supersonics. Pippen ultimately became arguably the greatest co-star the NBA has ever seen, but he struggled to adapt to the life of an NBA superstar his first 2 seasons in the league. He openly admitted the same in a sports biography by sports biography Ronald Lazenby. My first year or two, I admit that I messed around a lot. I partied, enjoyed my wealth, and didn't take basketball as seriously as I should have. I'm sure a lot of rookies did the same thing I did. You're not used to the limelight or being put in a great situation financially. Pippen averaged 11 points per game, 4.9 rebounds, 2.8 assists, on 46.7% shooting from the field and 63.4% shooting from the free throw line his first 2 seasons with the Chicago Bulls. By his 4th season, the Bulls were hosting the NBA champion as Pippen averaged 20.8 points per game, 9.4 rebounds, and 6.6 assists in the 1991 NBA Finals against the Los Angeles Lakers. So you heard Scottie Pippen. This is the same guy talking about, oh, Michael Jordan was a horrible player. Really? Is this what we're doing? Scottie Pippen has had 100 different opinions on who the GOAT is. Nobody knows who he thinks the GOAT is. It's absolutely ridiculous. So these are my thoughts. What I want to know from you guys, whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comments section. We catch you on the next show. Peace.